All right, y'all. Ticket TV live streams. Like, share, subscribe. Shouts out to the whole LDBC. Salute to A Weapons. He rep midlife music. And let's get into this video, man. And I got to give a big shout out to Pablo Torre, man, for standing on these dudes' helmets, man, and for standing up, one of the last true investigative journalists out here. You got Ramona Shelburne on ESPN calling this dude a podcaster, knowing this dude used to work for the network, knowing he's one of the last real journalists. And shame on ESPN for allowing this journalist to walk out the door when this dude is actually out here doing real journalism. He doing the real people's work. And I'm gonna tell you something. They need to protect Pablo at all costs. Stir frying Mark Cuban. And I'm gonna tell you something. Mark Cuban jumped out the window with this so fast. Huge mistake by Mark Cuban. Because Mark Cuban is now gonna put himself under the microscope. Now, Mark Cuban is no longer an owner in the National Basketball Association. So he's in the clear with that. But Mark Cuban, man, this dude right here, Steve Ballmer is too smart to be doing that. I'm Team Steve Ballmer. Well, you're going to be team looking crazy as hell when they get finished this report. Mark Cuban, for some reason, thinks that Clippers owner Steve Ballmer is too smart not to fall into the same trap he didn't fall into. Because Mark Cuban went on Pablo Torre's show, and Mark Cuban admitted that this company, Aspiration, tried to come after him and give him and get him on the team, as far as work with him and his team. And Mark Cuban said, "Nah." He said he sniffed it out from the beginning. Well, Mark, if you were smart enough to sniff it out, why in the hell do you think that Steve Ballmer just made an honest mistake? Make it make sense, buddy. We're not falling for it. And now Mark Cuban has a lot of people asking about discounts that Dirk took towards the end of his career based off him going in or going at Pablo Torre like this over his journalism. Pablo Torre need to stand on business, not be afraid of these guys, and stand up to all these punks. And I hope Pablo does. Pablo needs to make sure that he has a lot of protection around him because you're dealing with very powerful individuals when you talk about dealing with these billionaires. And I'm so happy that Pablo is out here exposing and doing the good work. Now, again, everybody keeps acting like this dude is just out here, oh man, he's capping, man, he's a snitch, man. No, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, bro. He's an investigative journalist. He's doing what he's supposed to do, investigate and find things out, right? There is a organization that was basically investigated by the feds. The two guys who was running it have basically admitted wrongdoing from what I'm reading to the feds, right? As far as fraud is concerned, in the tune of $248 million. Steve Ballmer's on national TV screaming and hooting and hollering, talking about, I got conned, I got conned. Well, I want to hear the other guy's side. I want to hear their side. I want to hear if Mark, excuse me, Cuban capping ass, what I'm saying, is going to get destroyed because I want to hear if the other guys are going to come out and say, hey, nah, man, we had an under the table agreement on Kawhi Leonard. Uh, because capping ass Steve Ballmer going to sit up there on TV talking about, oh, well, I didn't know whatever they had going on with Kawhi. What you mean you didn't know? So you made the introduction between them and Kawhi, but you didn't know anything they had going on. And now it's not suspicious to you that Kawhi Leonard didn't have to do anything just to get what now is they're alleging $40 million, $48 million, not 20, 48 million, 28 million just to be a part of it, and not even have to tweet nothing, promote nothing, nothing. The only rule was you got to stay with the Clippers. Are you serious? Are you serious? Then an extra 20 million allegedly on the side, a side deal he allegedly cut with him. which would have made it $48 million. And guess what? Ding, 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 ding. Guess who donated $50 million to this project? Guess who? You guessed it, Steve Ballmer. So it's crazy how Steve Ballmer invests $50 million, and they're saying Kawhi Leonard allegedly got a $48 million deal with these people. But Mark Cuban's running around here, and I'm gonna tell you what I think they're trying to do: put pressure on this young fella. If I'm Pablo, you can't pressure me. I'll tell you this right now. Pablo got to stand on this, and that's the reason why I'm standing with Pablo. I'm standing behind Pablo on this because he going against the powers, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. They trying to make him bow down and back down. They mad he came with this one, and I'm happy he didn't tell nobody about this until he dropped it. I'm so happy. I hope he exposed all of these suckers. You know what I mean? It's always been something that's been fishy about Mark Cuban. To me, he's always seemed like he's the smartest person in the room and all this other stuff. These billionaires do that. Don't y'all know some of these billionaires? They're only as smart as the people they got working for them, right? Catch a break here, catch a major break there, and then boom, you got smart people that's under you or that's working for you that's doing the main work. Meanwhile, you're the face that's reaping all the benefits, right? Oh yeah, we've seen it. Look at Mark Cuban on that screen right there, man. I don't trust that guy, man. I'm just gonna keep it 100, man. And so Pablo, he wasn't backing down. I'm happy that Pablo gave him that smoke. And if you guys don't know, Pablo did an interview, or actually had a back and forth with Mark Cuban last night. And the video just dropped a couple of hours ago. I watched it. And he was giving Mark Cuban that work. Mark Cuban running around here want to defend Steve Ballmer. They're gonna hit Steve Ballmer with a sonic boom. Straight up. You sitting out here want to defend Steve Ballmer. You ain't even give Pablo bro, this is crazy. It's like take a dump on the little guy Pablo, because there's no way Pablo can be right about my billionaire friend, right? There's no way he can be right about my billionaire friend, Steve Ballmer. Well, Mark Cuban, you out of here. And don't nobody want to hear about nothing about no rat, Chris Johnson. This basketball, dog. Sit your ass down and shut your bitch ass up, nigga. Nobody want to hear nothing about that shit, dog. And brush your teeth, nigga. Don't nobody want to hear nothing about that. But you mad because Kawhi getting exposed, right? By little old Pablo. Hey, man, right? Dude out here cheating the game, allegedly. Allegedly cheating the game. Something I've been suspecting. But y'all mad because somebody dared to do journalism, real journalism. And ESPN let this guy go. Think about this. And they have a nerve to disrespect him, Ramona Shelburne, and call this dude a podcaster, knowing he is a real journalist. Knowing that. But they out there using his information and what he investigated for 6 months. They out here using his info on national TV. We're going to disrespect him. And he caught all of this. But none of these people who they hired at ESPN, this is why ESPN is falling apart. The worldwide leader. They ain't got no more real journalism. They ain't got, what happened to the show they used to have where they investigate stuff like this? What was the name of that show, y'all? They had a show on ESPN where they used to investigate stuff like this. They scratched that show, got rid of that dude. I forget the name of the show. They had a show up there where they investigate stuff. Behind the Lines. Behind the Lines. What happened to Behind the Lines, man? Y'all remember that show? They got rid of all this stuff. And they got these weirdos up there looking like fools. A bunch of Stephen A. snitches up there. When now you get real journalism, right? To see how the rich stay richer. To see how teams allegedly, who got the most monies out here, doing the most dirt, allegedly. It's disgusting, right? And so this is what you fill your TVs with. It's fake ass journalists. People who jockstrap sniff and get on their knees and don't do no real journalism. But the guy who does, Pablo, little old Pablo, nah, he gets swept under the rug. Nah, man. Pablo done came back on y'all with the biggest story in the last 20, 30 years in the NBA. Right? And think about this. What I just said to y'all. Hey, Richard, brush your teeth, dog. Brush your teeth, bro. So like I said, don't get mad because Pablo's out here exposing you bums. Don't get mad because Pablo out here exposing all of the foolishness, right? That's going on behind these walls. That he's doing real journalism. Now y'all mad. Nah, nigga. Keep that same energy all the way across the board. We gotta do it, man. See, I figured out a lot of y'all don't care about the integrity of the game. Y'all are fanboys, jockstrap sniffers. So you only care about your player. You don't care about the integrity of the game. You don't care about the game being on an even playing field and seeing who really is the best. You don't care about that, right? You really don't. It's disgusting. You don't care about real journalism, right? And how is Pablo Torre a rat? How is he a snitch? He ain't no street cat. He don't live by no street code. He's an investigative journalist, right? So that's his job, to investigate shady shit. And I'm happy he do, because it keeps the integrity, whatever it needs to be left. It lets me know that there's still somebody out here doing great work. It lets us know that. And the fact that Mark Cuban is out here defending, off the jump, defending Steve Ballmer, right? You said, how was Stephen A. a snitch? Oh, okay, easy. He snitched on his boy Allen Iverson. That's how he's a snitch. Stephen A. snitched on his coach. He snitched on his college coach. You want me to keep going? Deception man eater. You want me to keep going? You asked me, how was Stephen A. snitch? I just told you. He snitched on AI and he snitched on his coach, the Clarence Big House Gaines. You want me to keep going? I can keep going, though. He was AI's boy. Him and AI was cool when Stephen A. Smith was coming up in the game. AI was taking Stephen A. with him everywhere, giving Stephen A. access, showing Stephen A. love, doing everything possible to help Stephen A. Smith get on, giving Stephen A. Smith exclusives, giving him access that nobody else got, no other reporter got, giving him all the stories and everything. Well, Stephen A. Smith, instead of trying to help his friend Allen Iverson, who he felt like was going through some things at that time personally, what did he do? He ran to the newspaper and printed out a whole article blasting and exposing AI. Well, AI was the one that put him on. That's why his name is Stephen A. Snitch. You want me to keep going? Let's go to Clarence Big House Gaines, his college coach. Clarence Big House Gaines, according to Stephen A. Smith, gave him a scholarship, full scholarship, brought him to school. But what did Stephen A. Snitch do? One behind Clarence Big House Gaines' back, went to the school newspaper, started talking shit about him and how he needed to leave basketball. He's a rat. You want me to keep going? Man eater, right? I'm asking you. Chief James, you're a liar. He says, I only attack black. I'm talking about a white man right now. What are you talking about? I'm literally on here talking about Mark Cuban and Steve Ballmer. You're a liar. You're blocked. You're a liar. See? See how easy it is to cook you, ho? I'm literally on here cooking a billionaire white dude, Mark Cuban. What is the title of this video, you lying piece of trash? Mark Cuban gets destroyed. Mark Cuban's black. See how idiotic you guys are? Dudes are clowns. It's easy work. A caveman can do this, sucker. Easy work. Oh man, all you do is attack black. Meanwhile, you watching me in a video of me attacking somebody who's not black. Make it make sense, boy. You dudes don't have a brain or a head to put it in. So yeah, you got blocked too. Get your ass out of here, sucker. Yeah, Jason's my world. These people have no brains whatsoever. I'm literally in here going off on 2 white billionaires. And this idiot gonna come on my channel. Hey man, you only attack black. Bro, I'm literally talking about a white dude. The video says Mark Cuban. So tell me this. When did Mark Cuban become black? Tell me that, Chief James. When did Mark Cuban turn black? Oh, that's right. You can't tell me. I blocked your dumb ass. I blocked you for lying, for capping. What about JJ Redick? Is JJ Redick black? I'm just asking. Is Jeffrey Epstein black? Is Donald Trump black? See, we can keep going. See, this is the thing right here, dog. You ain't never gonna win this game with me, sucker. You lost, fool. You and the rest of them dummies that came on whatever train you came in on. Mark Cuban is full of it, and he got absolutely stir-fried. And Pablo Torre is one of the last real investigative journalists out here, and he need to be protected at all costs. They trying to run down on this dude, in my opinion, and they trying to make him irrelevant, which ain't gonna happen. He got the streets right now, and that's a fact. He got the streets right now. And you do you consider Stephen A. Smith black, sir? When Stephen A. Smith went on national TV capping for Steve Balmer, but talking all that shit about Kawhi Leonard, I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you this question, right? Stephen A. Smith literally went on TV capping for Steve Ballmer. He didn't even give Shannon Sharp that benefit of the doubt, his own alleged boy. He didn't see no evidence that Shannon Sharp had all worded this girl. But look at his response to that versus his response to Steve Ballmer. Oh, I'm gonna give Steve Ballmer the benefit of the doubt. I'm telling you. Oh, but Kawhi, oh yeah, man, he's the worst superstar ever. Oh yeah. Me, I cook both their asses. Kawhi and Steve Ballmer. And now Mark Cuban getting that smoke. He want to throw his hat in the ring and get this smoke too. Period. Mark Cuban, old ass, don't weasel his way over here. Threw himself into this conversation, capping for Steve Ballmer, and got absolutely smoked by Pablo Torre today on his show. All facts. And Pablo Torre was killing him softly on that show. Mark Cuban ain't nothing but a dude sitting up here capping for billionaires. This is how the world runs for real, for real. Billionaires protecting billionaires. He gonna sit up there. Oh, I don't think that he's that stupid to make him. Now, either this is a great play by Mark Cuban, to where he's coming out and putting on a great front, like I'm gonna back my guy hard, but I really ain't backing him. I hope he gets found out, so he gets exposed in front of everybody and stripped down. Or he really is backing his punk, because maybe this is something that could have been going on behind the scenes for years, undetected. And now the chickens have come home to roost because this situation is blown up in everybody's face. And now this is going to start straightening up this business. And see, I think that now Anybody that has this type of stuff going on, they have to immediately shut it down. All operations. The block is too hot. See? Oh yeah. People asking questions about that contract with the New York Knicks. They asking questions about James Dolan and them boys over there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I got some real good questions. You know what I'm saying? And see, the one thing you shouldn't like in professional sports is a cheater. I don't give a damn. See, you guys focus on just the players. But what about the people who are pulling the real strings, the owners? What if the owners are cheating? What if the owners are cheating? Shouldn't they be held to a higher standard? Right? Mark Cuban just coming out talking down on this boy right here. That's bullshit. That man came out with receipts. He didn't come out just talking shit. Mark Cuban had nothing to say about this guy's receipts. There was nothing he can argue when it came to the receipts. Mark Cuban sat up there looking like a dumbass, talking about everything else except for them damn receipts that this guy dropped. Oh, do you think he was that stupid? No, we don't think he's stupid. We think that what he did was stupid and got caught. Period. And now all y'all shitting bricks because y'all's little game has been busted up, allegedly. I can't wait till the NBA come back with this investigation because there ain't no way to get around that paperwork, dog. Kawhi Leonard, I want y'all to think about this. Read the report from the Boston Sports Journal. The $28 million deal was paid in quarterly installments over 4 years. But it was not only compensation Kawhi Leonard received. According to high-level source, Kawhi Leonard also cut a side deal with aspiration to receive an additional $20 million in company stock. The stock was to be paid out from Sandberg's personal holdings and the company over 4 years. So that's $48 million Kawhi allegedly was squeezing out of these dudes. But it goes on. That brought the total of the promised compensation to Kawhi Leonard to $48 million, around the same time as the Kawhi Leonard deal. Aspiration was going through its rounds of fundraising. They had raised approximately $600 million, including previously $250 million from Oak Tree Capital Management. That number also included a $50 million investment from Steve Ballmer. Think about this, right? That investment has been characterized to the Boston Sports Journal by Steve Ballmer, $50 million, as having been made with light to no diligence. So you do no diligence and give off for the 50. Tell Steve Ballmer come give me $50 million. I got a business for him. He ain't doing no diligence, no nothing. But he's a billionaire. You don't get to be a billionaire by being stupid. Think of it as getting a commitment on Shark Tank after only a couple of questions. The commitment from Steve Ballmer was also curious as he paid a higher price for his return shares than others. Oak Tree commitment to aspiration came at $10 a share, but Steve Ballmer paid a premium of $11 a share, raising his overall investment to $50 million. Typically, an investor of Steve Ballmer's caliber would have been wooed with a discounted share price so the company could tout the investment of a major player. Oh, this is going to get disgusting because the FBI is involved. See? And I hope they make Steve Ballmer testify to the feds. He said that he will talk to the feds. He's the biggest dummy I've ever heard because he should have never did that interview yesterday because now they have him on tape denying this. So if he's found guilty, the team's found guilty, he's a flat out blatant liar if he's found guilty. And he should be I'm going to say it again, removed as an owner from the NBA if he's found guilty. Because not only would he have did this, he would have doubled down and lied about it. Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right. Think about what I just said to y'all. Y'all see Kawhi Leonard ain't say a word. He don't never say. Uncle Dennis ain't said nothing. They all quiet. Because they don't know how far this thing can go with the feds. Remember, the feds have unlimited resources. The feds have unlimited resources. So then you get guys like Mark Cuban jumping in this thing, putting his nose where it don't belong, and now opening himself up to get stir fried. But they say billionaires are smart. hmm So little old Pablo out here going against the powers to be, and I love every bit of it. And Pablo did not back down from Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban be trying to talk. You get these little billionaires trying to talk that talk, man. Pablo wasn't trying to hear that shit, man. Mark Cuban over there trying to sweet talk this situation down. Nah, Mark, can't sweet talk out of this one, Playboy. That man showed paperwork, bro. Kawhi Leonard getting all that money to do nothing. What in the history of life, what promotional company signs you and says the only way that you can keep getting this money is if you stay with the strippers? Make it make sense. You ain't got to do no promotion. Meanwhile, you're rumored to have be getting around $48 million dollars, and the owner of your team allegedly funneled $50 million. And then people say, "Oh, well, ticket. How could it help the cap when Kawhi Leonard, he still got the max?" Oh, duh, because the Clippers thought they were outsmarting everybody, in my opinion. They could have thought they were smarter than everybody and say, "Yo, we're going to give Kawhi the max and cut everybody else down so that we can stay under the cap." And it doesn't look like we did anything to circumvent the cap with Kawhi Leonard. So other players can take a hit as far as their salaries and won't nobody think nothing. So do I think they were doing this with James Harden and them? No, I don't. I think that they was cutting these other guys' money so we don't cut Kawhi's money, so it ain't no direct coalition. They can't say, "Oh man, this is why Kawhi was taking pay cut." Nah, we allegedly can cut other players' salaries and then stay under that cap. It's still a form of evading the cap. Duh. Remember Paul George? They didn't want to pay Paul George. All of a sudden, after having Kawhi and running that meal with Kawhi and them all this time, now they didn't want to pay Paul George. Paul George had to take a massive pay cut. What did Paul George say? He said, "Man, it's damn right disrespectful." Now, don't you think if Paul George is getting paid under the table, he wouldn't have cared about that discount? Everybody keep asking, "Well, why didn't Paul George?" Paul George wasn't getting paid under the table. Paul George probably looking at this with jaw dropped. Like, what the fuck? Paul George is probably looking at this situation with his jaw dropped. Think about what I just said to y'all. Think about what I just said to y'all. See, this situation is deeper than rap, but you got to be smart like me. You got to be smart like me to see everything. Paul George should not get paid too. What you forgot is that Paul George, on his most recent contract, when he tried to get repaid, they offered him something that Paul George said was insulting. Now, if Paul George was going to make that money up and get that money under the table, he wouldn't have cared if the Clippers would have lowballed him because he would have known he was getting his money under the table. So this is how you know Paul George wasn't getting no money under the table, because that nigga was fuming. That nigga was saying that offer was disrespectful they sent me. Google it, nigga. Google it. Google it. Ticket don't miss, man. Y'all be 10 days late, 4 years late, $35 short, nigga. Not me. Once I'm on to something, I'm on it. And I've been told y'all I was on the Kawhi Leonard a long time ago. And everybody went against me. Way back then. But something that's called karma always turns around and comes on your doorstep. And when you're right, you're right. And oh boy, if the NBA comes back with this guilty verdict, oh my God, ticket. Right? And I agree with what old dude said the other day on his TV show. If Kawhi Leonard don't get found guilty, this is going to overshadow his entire career. He's going to be known as the guy who took money under the table to go to sign with the strippers. That's going to define his legacy. Right? A guy who cheated the game financially. But I don't want him just to be known. I want Steve Ballmer to be known. If they get found guilty as the owner that went up there and lied. See, Kawhi got enough sense not to say nothing. He got enough common sense not to say nothing. I'm telling y'all. To Lucky Luke, yes it is. Sorry. He gets found guilty on this. You know what they're going to do to him? They're probably going to void his contract. He's going to get suspended. They're going to lose picks, heavily fined. The owner suspended, general manager suspended. If not, owner removed. Oh, it's going to be major. And he just got that new arena too. Man, that's going to be a tough decision. But Adam Silver's going to have to do it. He's going to have to come down hard because it's not going to be any other choice. The other owners in the league are not going to be able to cap for him because the fans are not stupid. If you go look at the ESPN interview that he did, all the fans are destroying him in the comment section. The fans ain't going for it. Don't none of them fans in ESPN comment section believe the Clippers owner Steve Ballmer. None of them. Go look at the comments. No, everybody just called him a liar. Even after that interview, they're all calling Steve Ballmer a liar. Nobody's buying his story. He should have never came out and said nothing. This is what happens when you think you're smarter than everybody and you ain't. You got this type of situation going on. You got a lawyer. You don't say nothing. Especially when you have the feds involved, which they are. Which means the NBA has to take this serious because the feds are involved. Because now they have to investigate and see the length of his involvement with this company. And you better believe they're going to interview those two guys that just got jammed up by the feds to find out Steve Ballmer's the length of his involvement. They're going to find out. I told y'all, you say you just check out the comments. Man, I told y'all, bro, I'm a real investigative journalist too. I don't miss. I don't just come on YouTube saying stuff, bro. I actually read paperwork, listen to interviews, read the comments. I do all of this, bro. The niggas just don't give me credit. Niggas just go against me, talk down on me, and fucking hate on me, nigga. But in real life, though, I'm the man. In real life. This is what happens when you blessed and you think on a whole different level. I've been cooking on these dudes for years. I've been the main one. Straight up. I was unafraid to go at Kawhi. Just because he quiet don't mean shit. Just because he quiet just meant he was able to fly under the radar longer. Think about what I said. Think about what I said. Right? To the person who says most will happen, he'll pay a couple dollar fine, cap. He gonna be suspended or banned. Him and the general manager. what's Lawrence, whatever his name is. Yeah, they gonna both get suspended. What are you talking about, dog? He gotta he gotta lay the hammer on this. The feds is involved. Yeah, don't y'all understand that the feds are involved, bro? And you got dumbass Mark Cuban out here doing all this talking. He's supposed to be smart, but he came out here capping for Steve Ballmer, and this boy don't drop receipts on his helmet. You can't get around them receipts. You can't get around that contract. You can't get around those receipts. This is the thing. They got paperwork, bro. When you got a paperwork, a paper trail, you cannot get around that. You can't get around the paper trail. The paperwork tell us everything. That's why Steve Ballmer was on ESPN stuttering yesterday when Ramona Shelburne was asking him all those questions. Everything he was telling y'all, I don't know. I don't know. You a fucking billionaire, but you don't know. Fuck out of here, man. I got con too, man. Get your ass out of here, bro. I had half a mind to go interview the two guys from that organization and let them tell everything on this dude. How you a billionaire and you don't know? He don't know nothing. That was his answer to everything. I don't know. Capping ass. So the person who said it's just Adam Silver, that's not true. Adam Silver is giving out harsh punishments. I don't know if you've seen this. Adam Silver, let me say this again. And this is how you get Ether coming in here talking shit to me, Rylan Gibson. You said, it's Adam Silver. He's just going to give suspension and major fines. That's cap. Adam Silver just banned old boy for life for gambling on basketball, dog. He just banned Michael Porter Jr.'s brother for life. And you better believe he was what he was ready to hand a lifetime ban to Malik Beasley if he would have been found guilty too. The hell is you talking about? He could have banned that boy for like 2 or 3 seasons. He banned his ass for life. He set the standard right there. If you bet on basketball or if you're betting on the game and cheat, you're out of here. Know your role and shut your mouth when you come in here talking to me, boy. Know your role and shut your mouth. He just banned a dude for life for the betting scandal because the feds was involved. He had to go hard. He can't turn around and go soft on the owner. Nope. He got to stand on his kahunas. See, you quiet now, boy. You was just talking all that loud shit, but you quiet now. Because, like, I'm surgical with this thing, nigga. When you tried and true like I am, you surgical with this thing, nigga. I'm surgical with this thing, boy. Like I said before, all them people go against me for years. And when they find out I'm right, it's too late. You already tore me down. Talk shit about me. Talk down on me. And I was telling the truth and keeping that shit 100 the whole time. Right? And Ramona Shelburne ass, who ain't never seen a breakfast buffet that she didn't like, gonna sit up there and call this man who worked at ESPN a podcaster when he's one of the last real investigative journalists out here. Period. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And this is the type of shenanigans ESPN's running. Get rid of real journalism from guys like Pablo, but hire all them suckers they got over there hooting and hollering and screaming on TV. That's why Michelle Obama said what she said about ESPN. What happened to all the real investigative journalists they had over at ESPN? The people they had with integrity over there. What happened to the show Behind the Lines? Behind the Lines what got all over this. But the ESPN Behind the Lines show, they'd have been all over this. Right? Think about what I said. You're already right, Horizon Vibes. I'm just telling the real. And Mark Cuban sitting up there doing all that capping. And the fans, they calling out Mark Cuban too. They destroying Mark Cuban. The fans see right through this shit, bro. But that's the worst thing that the Clippers owner did is went up there and did that interview. How you a billionaire 100 times over, and you can't see? And Mark Cuban said he sniffed out the company immediately. Mark Cuban said that in his interview with Pablo Torre today. So if you could do that, Mark Cuban, why couldn't your little billionaire friend that you say is all smart? Why couldn't he do the same thing? If you could just tell that things wasn't legit about the company just from talking to him a couple times. Make it make sense, Marky. And then, like I said, that other bird brain that came in here and got blocked, he gonna come in here talking about something. Hey man, you only going at black dudes while I'm in here going at a white guy. Make it make sense. Make it make sense, buddy. Make it make sense. Capping ass. Make it make sense. I just want you to make it make sense. Stay stir frying, you suckers. And I'm gonna stay on this story. Real investigative journalism. I want to stay on this story. Yep. Same way we would do if it was LeBron Ramon James. And remember this: if this is LeBron James, man, they wouldn't get that nigga no pass. It would be 100 videos a day about this from people from everybody's channels. But since it's Kawhi, everybody want to bite their tongue. Don't nobody want to come out here and give Steve Ballmer and these dudes the business. Nah, sorry, I can't operate like that. They gonna get that smoke. And then Mark Cuban want to come put his hat in the ring, he can get that smoke too. Mark Cuban just showing y'all about the good old boys network. That's all he doing. That's all he doing. So, yeah, something ain't right about y'all. Like, share, subscribe. Pablo, salute to you. We got your back, dog. And we holding you down, bro. Period. They ain't gonna be able to get you up out of here, dog, because you got a lot of people that's rolling with you. A lot of people that's rolling with you. You had a lot of kahunas to come pull this one off, boy. Because you know that them billionaires are gonna be on your helmet, but you still came out because when you walk in truth, you ain't gotta worry about a lie, nigga. Salute. Hey, I really appreciate you guys for supporting the channel, supporting the network. Like, share, and subscribe once again. There are links. Get the free membership on our website. That way you guys won't miss any of our news update stories or videos. They're all on the website, ticketvmedia.com. You go over there. You can go right to the members part and become a free member. That way you guys will get all the updates. Also, straight drop weight loss formula. Make sure y'all go tap in and copy some of that, as well as subscribing to our podcast show. Link will be pinned at the top of the chat down there below. And also, we just appreciate all y'all who support the channel. Cash App, PayPal.